What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video on the channel. So today I wanted to kind of revisit what we had spoken about a couple weeks ago in terms of mainly the state of this game, because in the 3 weeks since I posted that video, things have only really gotten worse, I would say. So I've seen a bit more. Basically, I've seen Inception post a mini movie, right, about the state of this game in its current form on console. And I've watched some of it. I haven't sat down with my popcorn yet to kind of watch the whole thing. But really, it was, I sped through it and I agreed with a lot of what he said. So this video is going to be a little different because I kind of wanted to do a hybrid of just like talking about the state of the game and then also working through kind of Winter Wildcards, right? And that upcoming promo. The big thing for me, and I'm curious to know if you guys are feeling the same way, is like, I just don't really feel like I'm that excited for Winter Wildcards. Like, I don't know. It's different when I'm like hyped to play the game and the game is in a state where I'm like, you know what, I'm ready to jump on this game, ready to have fun, but I just know what to expect. And the reason that I know what to expect is, one, EA have not said anything about the connection issues, right, and the delay if you're playing on console. Two, every single person is probably going to be back on this game for Winter Wildcards, which is just going to make the game, in my opinion, feel incredibly heavy. Now, the last 3 weeks, like I said, have been pretty bad, right? It's just kind of really gone downhill. And to the point where this last week, I didn't even finish my champs games, right? I played my games and I had 5 games left and I was just like, I'm done. You know, like I'm not going to go and sit through all of this nonsense, seeing what I'm seeing on my screen and play out these games just to rage and just be angry. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to cut it, right? So I was just done. And that's it. Like, that's just the state of the game right now. You know, rivals I haven't even touched. Right, this week I've got like 5 points, 6 points. I don't have the energy to just get on and play this game right now. And so to me, I'm like, okay, I'm not going to play this game anymore. I'm going to, in terms of like actually getting into a game mode, right, or playing rivals or champs or whatever, I'll probably grind the menus. I'll probably try some of these friendly tournaments maybe tomorrow before, you know, Winter Wildcards actually releases. And the thing is that Winter Wildcards looks like a good promo. It's always a marquee promo for EA, right? It's up there with, obviously, Thunderstruck, Team of the Year, Team of the Season. It's like one of the big ones. And again, you know, in EA's mind, I think people are just going to jump on this game. They're going to have Christmas money. They're going to blow it on FIFA points, rip open packs, right? And that's how they make their money, right? And so at the end of the day, EA going to step away from this being like, Winter Wildcards is great, you know, it's fantastic. But there's like a few things that I've seen that highlight that I think the player base is starting to alienate itself from this game, right? And just go and try other things. The game is on sale massively, right? I think it's 60% off for the Ultimate Edition, right? And there was like a message. I don't know if it was real or not, right? I should really check at this point with, you know, the way AI is. But there was like a thing I saw on Twitter where they were actually telling people, switch on crossplay, right? You have a better experience if you play crossplay. I ran like a mini experiment, let's call it, right? I tried running my champs games and some rivals games without any crossplay, right? So just on PlayStation alone. It didn't make a single shred of difference in my eyes, genuinely, right? It still just felt like my opponent's players were able to silkily move around me and press me and be on top of me constantly, like without any issues. But my players, when I passed the ball, some heavy touch from my striker, awful like first touches in general, right? When they're running, they're getting caught up to by people who are slower than them and all, like, I can't turn, right? That's the big thing. I cannot turn with my players. By the time I'm able to turn, there's 2 or 3 players around me. Like, genuinely, that's what it feels like. So I was like, you know what? I'm done. Anyway, quick little 5-minute rant. I think the state of the game is absolutely shocking right now. It's just terrible. But what I wanted to do is jump on, do a little prep for Winter Wildcards, right? This looks kind of interesting to me, the Scream or Hero pick. I've not done it yet, right? I've just, like I said, haven't really cared. This 87 campaign mix upgrade also looks interesting, but I saw Nick RTFM's video and it looked like there was just people packing a bunch of useless, honestly, fodder, right? So I don't know about that either. Pina, she was on my list to do, right? I favorited Pina to do her SBC, but I don't think I'm going to, right? She's apparently going to get 2 Winter Wildcards, so that's that, right? Unbreakables challenge, marquee matchups. This Dempsey honestly looks like the best SBC they've released, along with that Zinchenko. I mean, I think that Zinchenko is what, like 12k or something. Very good deal, right? If you are building like an Arsenal past or present, like Nepenthes, right? If this guy, here we go. 3-4. Good stats, right? Gets good rolls, got good play styles, which, as we know, is everything in this game now, right? But this promo is a useless filler promo, right? Like, what is the point? Like, genuinely, just the concept of the promo is good, right? These players that have bounced back from real hardships, which is like nothing to undermine, right? These players have genuinely gone through some of the worst things and come back and still played at the top level. Great. Love that. It's actually a very, very good concept. As with most things with EA, it's poorly executed, right? It's just, that's the thing, is like EA banks on the first 2 days, 3 days maybe of the promo to basically be like, here's all our eggs in this basket. This is what you're going to get. And then after that, it just like slowly drags on until the end of the week and the next promo. So for me, like I said, great concept, terrible execution, right? It's just, I don't really know what more I'm not gonna say I don't know what more they could have done. I can think of a bunch of things they could have done better, right? But again, like, it misses the mark like so many things with EA. It misses the mark. And so for people, when they log on, they're like, this is a log on, log off kind of day, right? Where if they wanted to and they put forward some effort, they could say, you know what, we're not going to do Unbreakables this time around. We're going to give you a break. We're going to build up to Winter Wildcards, and then we'll do Unbreakables at another point and put forward the effort. So anyway, again, yet another failure from EA. 1 of 385, right? This expires in 5 days. This is going to come out around Winter Wildcards. Udol, right? I literally didn't even know this card was in. I don't really know like what's really going on. This I've heard is good, right? I think this is just 185 player, right? 85 and higher, no, 3. So you need 3 85s for this. But this is good because it stocks your club with some decent fodder. So let's see if we have 3 85s here. We have 1, right? Yeah, 1. Okay, so let's go back to the club and then let's see how many 85s we have here. 85s. Yeah. Okay. All right. Here we go. Son, I'm going to keep because I'm still on the verge of doing that like magician Evo. And then Tielemans can go in. And then what else after this? Okay, so we can do this a couple times. How many times can you do this a day? That's what I'm curious about. Oh, or is it just unlimited? No. Okay, so you can do it 4 times a day. All right. But I think this is good, right? I think this is actually a good thing. It stocks your club, which you're going to need to grind out. Honestly, the worst case scenario, you can use this for League SBCs, like genuinely. So I know they've refreshed those. Oh, God. I should have done this. So you guys are getting a look into how I do SBCs. Okay, Son, Gravenberch. Yeah, here we go. So Marta, Girelli. How many other gods? Okay, so we could do it, I think 2 more times after this, maybe. But at the end of the day, this is great, right? You can stock your club. You can work your way through it. So I'm not going to open any of these now. I'm going to save these, but you earn a pack containing 15 common and 25 rares rated 80 or lower. Great. Love that, right? Okay, now here's what they changed today. So mixed leagues, the Russian Saudi League. I don't know why they've put max silver. Like, to me, that doesn't really make sense because I have more golds of the Saudi League than I do of bronze and silver. Like, let's just build the squad just so we can see what that looks like, right? League. Oh my God, I'm really going to have to do this. Hold on. How can you... Oh, let's just do it this way. It's probably easier, honestly, just to kind of see and gauge what we have. But I really wanted to flex how good my building SBC skills were, but this is not really going well. So yeah, I mean, I have 5, and then I have, like, you know, I'm not saying a ton of golds, but like, I'm not going to really chuck in 84s and 83s into this, but you know what I mean? Like, again, I've not really been grinding this game in terms of the bronzes and the silvers, but I think the big thing that they changed is this. Yeah, they changed the Sudamericana to Liga Portugal and Pro League. Great, right? That's going to make this a lot easier and a lot cheaper. So your provisions packs are going to come in handy to grind that. And I think that's going to be a very good way for you to build up your fodder, you know, store the packs if you want to for SBCs, right? And then the dailies are going to be your big thing that you want to do, right? So your golds into your silvers, etc. So we'll build some of these. We'll just talk really about the state of the game. Like I said, let me know what you guys are thinking realistically. Like, are you excited? Are you not excited? Do you care anymore? Like, what's kind of been your feelings over the last couple weeks? For me, like I said, it has felt genuinely worse. And that's tough because I was like, man, this game is in a sorry state, you know, a few weeks ago. And just seeing it get even worse is never a good sign. Like I said, especially leading up to a promo like that's this big, it's tough because I just have no desire to jump on and play this game. And really, that's, you know, for Winter Wildcards, it's like, it's one of the few times of the year that I get off work personally, right? So for me, I'm like, this is a good time for me to jump on, pack some cards that maybe I want to pack, play some games, right? Enjoy some time off and just kind of grind this game a little bit. But it, you know, it's one of those things where you're almost forced into the menus on console because the gameplay is so horrific. So, and I think the thing that epitomizes it for me here, I'll show you guys a clip realistically of it in a second. But it was a game I was playing here. Let me pull it up. Yeah, this was the one. Okay, so I was playing this guy. Okay, let me see. I think the first goal was fine. I think the first goal was just poor defending from me. Yeah. I mean, that alone is also annoying, right? My David Raya flaps it into the goal. Okay, you know what? I was like, all right, fine. It is what it is, right? All right, let's see. And it's just like the delay in like the shooting animation is also tough. Like, that's a really tough one. All right, I tried to read that, right? And then my Saliba's now out of position. Why he's all the way over there, I have no idea in the first place. Good save by Raya there. Where's the second goal? It genuinely pissed me off when I saw the second goal. Yeah, here it is. Watch this nonsense. Okay, so he's dribbling around. I think, okay, cool. You know what? Actually, see if I can defend it. I try and, you know, shuffle him out. And then I get the ball back, I'm pretty sure. I win it back at some point. So he's just trying to work it. So here we go. I win it back. I try and turn, nothing, right? Straight on top of me. Then here. Okay. I mean, like, what are you supposed to do in that situation? What are you supposed to do in that situation? Like, I'm controlling my Saliba so that I can control the ball. My David Raya flaps it into his feet, and then his Marcus Rashford Evo, which shock horror everyone has, right, is able to just pounce, take it off me, score, right? And it's so dumb. It's just such a it's so infuriating when you have to concede this type of stuff. Like, and it's just, you see the way my players move. You see the way my players move. You see the way his players move. They're so slow. Like, here, you know what? He made a good ball. This is where I'll call it quits, right? So you can see I paused and I quit because I control my Nuno Mendes and I cover the angle and I block the shot. But because I did that, it comes off of me and he gets the goal. So that epitomizes to me realistically like the game as a whole. It just is so aggravating when you can try and do, and I don't believe in scripting. Like, I don't really think that that's a thing. It's just, you can tell when you go into a game that the game is against you. You know, you go in and you're like, man, my touches feel heavy. My players don't know what they're doing. My passes aren't going anywhere. And it just feels like it's just being like EA have given the opponent the edge to win the game. That's what it feels like. And then when you're playing, you're like, why? If I can see this and I can see that EA are like helping this guy with the bounce backs, with whatever it feels like that are going his way or their way, right? You're just like, why? Why don't I just quit? Like, what is the point? You know, and you just suffer through it, you drag yourself through it, and maybe you win, maybe you lose, but just, you can tell. And I think people know that, right? Like, I think that's a common thread, is like people will know when the game just feels like it is, you know, it is built for the opponent to win. It's not built to be a fair game. And if it's a fair game, great. But if it's built for the opponent to win, why bother, man? Like, just why bother at the end of the day? It just is, it's tough. It's really tough. So I don't know what leagues I'm supposed to keep at this point. I'm going to be completely honest. So I'm trying to remember, like, realistically what I need. Turkish League. No, Turkish League is fine. It's the Pro League and the League of Portugal. So Turkish League is all right. I mean, listen, I may be chucking in silvers here that I shouldn't be chucking in, right? Because of the cup, right? Haven't touched that cup. Evo Cup I'm still working on, right? But at the end of the day, like I've said a few times in this video now, they're just, the desire to really jump on and play this game is not there for me. And I think what I used to do previously is I used to force myself to play it. I was like, you know what? No, I'll play it. You know, it's FC. I don't want to miss out, right? I don't want to feel like I'm going to not grab a player that I want to pack or whatever, right? I'm missing out on some big pack in this tournament. But now I've reached a point where I'm like, my time is too valuable, right? My time, my energy, and honestly, like the state of my mental well-being when I play this game is too valuable for me to be like, yeah, I'll jump on. What's the problem? You know, so what if I rage? So what if I see all this nonsense? It's no big deal. So yeah, now I'm just like, I'm you know, it doesn't matter to me enough to have to suffer through that game. So, but anyway, Winter Wildcards, it does look like a very good promo, right? There's a Dino that's coming, like a baby Dino, which is going to be incredibly expensive. I'm going to guess somewhere around the 1.5 million mark, personally, because maybe even 1 million, like if EA are feeling generous. But the way that Pina was at like 500k, I think his base icon, I think, is currently sitting around high end of 3 million, 4 million, right? It's dropped a lot because people have seen, right, where this baby Dino has been leaked. If you haven't seen, don't really go on Twitter. Ultimately, on Twitter, you're going to see stuff that you don't want to see anyway, right? It's just kind of, or X, sorry. It just happens. So just be warned if you are one of those people that just doesn't like any secrets. Wow, 39 pace Van der Boomen. Holy, they did him completely dirty. 39 pace. Wow. It's like the same pace as Casemiro. But anyway, so yeah, looks like there's some great players, right? It genuinely does. Looks like there's some great players. Looks like there's going to be some good SBCs. It's going to be a fun time. It just is going to be very, very interesting to see the state of the game, to be honest. Like, when that many people are on it and wanting to play the game, it's going to be very interesting to see a state. I'm going to plug in some headphones because the pack opening noise is coming through my controller, and so I don't necessarily want you guys to hear all of that. But I think the game volume should be good. Let me just adjust it just in case. Okay, so, but yeah, like I said, it's going to be very interesting. And I will jump on this weekend. I will play some games. I'll get a feel for Winter Wildcards. I'll see, if I really have the desire to grind the game. And if I do, great. And if I don't, it is what it is, to be honest. Like, I'm not really going to be that crestfallen about it. I'll just grind the menus, I'll chill out, and there will be that, to be honest. But yeah, like you guys can see, this for me is like, you want to obviously just build these now so you can do the premium. So there's a Portugal player, Poland, Austria. So these can all now go into your grind upgrades, right? So you just put these bronzes into your commons for the off leagues that you don't need. The Chinese league, the Austrian league, right? All of those. So here's my winter provisions pack. I have like a mini pack save. I still have my champs rewards, right? So let me go, let me actually go grab those now that I'm here, just so, what do we end on? 7 wins, I think. If I'm not mistaken, I literally don't even know. What is that? 1083, 1684, 25k. So I think it was, yeah, here you go, 7 wins. It is what it is, right? At the end of the day, doesn't really matter to me. And then rivals, where are we? Where are we sitting at with rivals? It ends tomorrow, but I just don't have the energy. Not qualified. Not a surprise. 4 points, right? And this is what I mean. Like, to me, there's no motivation. There's no desire to play this game in that state. So I'm just like, I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna do with it. I'm not gonna sit and grind through it for no reason. Retro Besiktas. Oh, you have to buy the kit? Wow. Oh, here we go. This is the one that you get. So now they're handing out the SP, right? So now they know it's getting to that point where people are nowhere near completing it. I've not bought a premium pass once, other than I think the first one that we got because I ordered the Ultimate Edition. That's the only time I've gotten one. Season 3, World Tour Silver Stars League. Play, score, assist, win. So you have to win 20 for Tech Plus. I mean, it's pretty nice at the end of the day. What's this? Enforcer and then Advanced Forward Plus Plus. It's nice that you can preview these. It's somewhat frustrating that they gatekeep it up to like 85. Like, that is slightly annoying. These 85 to 89s, like, who really cares, man? EA, just do like 85 plus. I would just rather that. Why, why keep it at 85, 89? That to me just seems a bit ridiculous. So, okay, let's go build these common golds, and then, I mean, that's really it, to be honest. I wasn't planning on sitting down and doing this. I kind of want to end with some gamble SBC, but with Winter Wildcards coming up, I'm just kind of like, I'm going to save my fodder. It's just, those gamble SBCs are dangerous, man. They really are dangerous, because you can just, before you know it, you've put in an 83, 84 rated squad, and you could have put that into Dino, right? Or into something else that you may want when it comes out this Friday. So yeah, for those of you that don't know, which I'm sure all of you do, Friday is going to be the release. And yeah, I mean, I am excited to see what EA does. I think it's just, I don't have an excitement to play. That's the thing, and that's tough. That's tough when it is that time of year where it is the holiday season. People are just kind of enjoying their time off and wanting to spend some of that time on games like this if they want to. And then here we are. Wow, what league was that? I had no idea that league was even in the game. I need to check that out. Belgian league will keep, Austrian, and that's the Irish league, I'm pretty sure. And then let's do our silvers here. So Austrian, Romanian. So now Sudamericana cards really can go in pretty much, right? So that's no longer something that you have to hold on to. And those prices crash. And of course, now they come out in leaps and bounds in your packs, right? So I think I just saw like 4 or 5 in one pack is potentially that I just got there. So yeah, I mean, listen, the League SBCs are going to be the best way to grind packs to get fodder for whatever SBC you want to do, right? Whether that's a gamble pack, whether that's a who knows what, right? It's going to be the best option now because they have significantly reduced the price of those cards. So you're going to have the ability to now grind all of this out and be in a much better position. Now, would they have nerfed the weight on those? Maybe, would it surprise me? No, but it's that's EA, man. That is EA for you. England to Eredivisie. I mean, yeah, these I should all keep. I guess I'll just chuck in these Liga 2s maybe. I don't know. Whatever, it's fine. I mean, I'm sure I'll get back some silvers at some point. So, all right, and that's the common golds done. I don't know if you need the rares, right? This was good during Thunderstruck, right, when you really needed those rares. But I think the provisions packs are good. I think grinding out these dailies to get your silvers and your golds and your bronzes up is going to be very important for you to kind of... Oh, wow. We've got a walkout. Is that lower? It is lower. Big Lewandowski, man. Supposedly, he's on his way to the MLS. That's what I heard on Twitter. But that's pretty good. I mean, there you go. Out of an 11 common gold pack, we get a big walkout, which is going to go, even though we have him, it's going to go a long way to completing some SBC, right? Left mid, who is that? I have no idea. Don't really care. Bergwijn, damn. Wow. His hair looks insanely different this year. So, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with the game, to be honest. Like, I'm not even hopeful anymore. I'm just kind of, like, curious. I think that's where I'm at. Like, I am looking for... Baleba, future United player. Let's go. I'm interested with Winter Wildcards. I think it is going to be a good promo. EA puts all of their... Like, again, it's one of those big promos that they put a lot of effort into. So we'll just have to wait and see. But there you go. That's really it. I'm very curious to know how you guys are feeling. What are your thoughts on the game at this point, right? We are fast becoming a channel that literally just rants about EA Sports, which is fine by me. I have plenty to say at the end of the day. We buy this game in the hopes to enjoy it. And when we don't enjoy it, we vent those frustrations one way or another, right? Whether that's on X, whether that's through videos, whatever. But at the end of the day, for me, it's been tough to find the enjoyment to play this game. And like I said, the biggest thing for me is I have now reached a point where I will not play this game just to force myself to play it. All right, it's just not worth your time, not worth your effort. And if you are the same way, great, right? And if you're not and you feel like you're missing out, genuinely, I don't really think you're missing out on anything. At the end of the day, you can jump back on in a few weeks, even if you want to, right? And you could grind this game and your team would be in a good state within a few days of grinding. That's just how EA designed this game. So really, for those that buy the points and buy the packs, that's going to be... You're never really going to achieve that, right? Because people will spend tons of money on this game. And we'll see what happens. At some point, EA will release their financials, and that will give us a good indication of where they sit as an organization and the player base. Netflix today announced their partnership with FIFA, which I'm very curious to see how that goes. I thought it was 2K who had bought the rights, right, which I was more excited for. The Netflix thing, I don't know. It's going to be much more, to me, more of like a couch play game, I would think. If it's going to be played directly on Netflix, like, I don't know what that infrastructure is like for them to build that kind of game. So I'd be very curious to see what that looks like. But they announced that. Goals has just come out. I've not tried that, but I plan on trying it this weekend. Apparently, it's very good for like an alpha. Licensing is always going to be the big thing. People love to play with the players that they support, right? The teams they support, packing the players for national teams, whatever it may be, right? That's one of the big attractions for the game. And so if Goals can figure that out, who knows? Who knows where we could be in a couple years? And FC may be redundant. But yeah, this was a longer video, right? So, wow, 30 minutes of waffling. Surprised I talked for that long. But like I said, very curious to see where this goes. To me, I will still log on. I will still try and enjoy the game and try and take a more optimistic look at the game. But the gameplay that I've experienced the past couple weeks is just not really filled me with hope. And this is a time where people are not on the game, right? And so it's not a server overload issue. Like, at least I don't believe it is, right? I don't think it's because there's too many people on the game. There's not enough people on this game, which is why EA are giving out a Classic 11 hero, which is why EA are like putting this game 60% off. Like, I know it's Christmas, but that's a big that's a big indication as to where the level of player base is. And I think more and more people are leaving the game earlier in the cycle. They're not suffering through just for the sake of it anymore. It's like, oh, I've got to get my money's worth. I feel like for the most part, I did get my money's worth. Even though I bought the Ultimate Edition, $100, I got a few months out of it, right? Like, if I add up my coffees that I get, maybe let's say on a daily basis, is you know what I mean? Like, there's a way to look at it. And so for me, I feel like I get value from that game in terms of my playtime and my enjoyment. And that's fine. And I think people have started to realize that that is a thing sooner. Right? And so they just decide, you know what? I am done. And it's late for me now. I got back from playing football just tonight in LA. And I thought, you know what? I'm just going to sit down. Just going to get on the game and just kind of vent a little bit, right? Not get too hyped up or angry or whatever, because it doesn't do anything to get yourself in that position. At the end of the day, the game is where the game is. And I can try and take an optimistic view if it changes. But for the most part, I'm probably going to be let down, right, in terms of the gameplay. So raging is for the streams. If you want to see more of the raging side of things, that's where the streams come in handy, because when you see what you're seeing live, you saw the clip, right? And that was off stream too. Like, I wasn't even streaming that game, you know, so there's no overload of my internet. There's no whatever. I was literally playing that game offline, and that's the kind of stuff that you have to deal with, unfortunately. Now, you could watch that clip and be like, you don't know what you're doing, and you might be right. But once that Rashford goal went in, I was like, okay, I see where this game is going, right? I can already tell what kind of game I'm in for. And that's where I just left, you know, after that third goal. I was like, all right, I'm out. So, all right, guys. Well, listen, happy holidays for wherever you guys are, whatever you guys are doing around this time of year. I hope you enjoy your time off, if you have time off, spending time with your family, right? Christmas, if you do Christmas. And then if you don't, I hope you just are able to, you know, relax, get some rest, refresh, and, you know, start the new year off, hopefully, better, and you kind of work towards those goals that you have. There's, you know, we'll upload a couple videos between now and then, but just wanted to say happy holidays for those of you that celebrate. Enjoy that time, and don't let this game ruin your mood. Try not to, right? I can be a hypocrite and say that sometimes, because I do let it ruin my mood to a certain extent, but it is what it is, man. It's not worth it. So try and enjoy it. I appreciate you guys' support. I hope you like this video, right? If you do, drop a thumbs up, leave a comment, right? Let me know. We've talked for so long, I cannot even remember most of the things that we talked about. I'm sure I missed certain things. So I'll go back and watch this and just be like, damn, I should have said that. But for now, I appreciate it, guys. Much love. And we'll be back with another video soon. Peace.